Okay, we're here. We're back. We missed it last week. We got too busy and missed the call. And next week is Labor Day, so
Oh, yeah.
we'll be gone next week too. But it's
We
been
did
it's been an
definitely.
exciting end of summer, right?
Yeah,
Kids are back in school. CPS anyway. They're back in school, and
seems
um,
like most are by now. Yeah.
well, I'm pretty sure most of the colleges have gotten back, except for of course UC, which always starts after Rosh Hashanah.
Mm.
So they
I
usually start the end of September. Rosh Hashanah is coming up pretty soon. I'm not sure when, but anyway, you see, they
didn't
always
realize
start.
they started that late. Mm.
Yeah, no, they start after the Jewish high holidays, Yom Kippur, all that good stuff.
Why is that? Because
I think it's just tradition. I mean, they've always done it that way. I'm not
I
sure
mean,
why.
it's
Yeah,
it's not
it's not like a
Jewish
Jewish.
school, and the one chapel is based on like non-denominational, and the Rockefellers who funded it were Protestant, so it's just kind of interesting, but
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's always been that way. And I mean, when I was there back in the early 70s, that's how it was. And I'm sure it had
Yeah.
been that way for many years. So, and
Yeah,
I'm sure
interesting.
it's tradition. But they also are on the quarter system at UC, and they can get it, they can they can get a quarter in before the end
Yeah, right.
before the end of the year and all that stuff. So they can make it work. And
Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
It's intense. That quarter system is intense,
Mm.
but that's pretty typical of UC anyway. They're intense people,
Yeah, so known for that.
right? Right. Um, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So kids are back in school. Colleges are back. This week we have a big a super blue moon coming up on Wednesday at 8:30 at night or 9:30, I think, our time. So we have to get out and there won't be another blue
You
super.
mean eight? Are you sure it's not the other way around? Because if it's 8:30 Eastern, it'd be
Oh
7:30
yeah,
our
yeah,
time.
yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. Yep, I got that
I
backwards.
doubt that was quoted in Mountain Time.
Yeah, no.
That
I'm
never
sorry. You're right.
happens.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it would be
You're
7:30.
gonna make everybody miss the super blue moon. There once
I
in a while.
know, right?
Mary said,
But on the other hand, it'll be up um if we have good weather like we've been having this weekend. Oh my God, it's been so beautiful this weekend. It was weird, right after the hot weather that
well, we just had those couple hot days, and it's been such a beautiful summer. And I'm out walking with Oki every morning, and almost every morning it's between, well, this morning was 64, but between 64 and like 72 every morning, and then getting
yeah.
up in the 70s or 80s. So just this morning I looked at it, and it's supposed to be pretty much the same this week.
Yeah, I
But
think it's actually, I saw on the weather map, it's actually supposed to get down to the 50s, I think, like Tuesday or Wednesday night, something like that.
10 days out, next Wednesday, it's supposed to be 108.
Wow.
No.
They don't
And
know. They don't know 10 days out. They can't predict that far. Well, who
I
knows?
bet it's going to be hot. I mean, they may not be accurate, but it's usually going to be hot. It might not be that hot, or it might be hotter. But isn't that crazy? And as we go into
Well, I
September,
think
it's
most
going
of because I talked to my brothers on Sunday night and they're all hot. I mean, with my one brother's
yeah,
in
yeah,
Oregon and they're like in the 90s there.
pretty
And
much the rest of the country has been.
yeah, right. And my other brother's in DC and they were in the 90s. So, and humid, of course, there.
This is interesting. I just pulled it back up, and they've dropped it
Okay.
to 95, up to 98 Monday, Tuesday, and then 95.
You're saying next week at
Yeah.
Labor Day, you're saying
Well, the Wednesday after
the
Labor
Wednesday
Day.
after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, 98 on Labor Day, 98 Tuesday, and then 95 on Wednesday.
Ugh.
The Wednesday is where they had it quoted at 108 this morning. I'm like,
Oh
what
my
the
God. Wow. Wow.
seems so
I know what
weird.
I'm doing this weekend. I'm making
I
my,
don't believe you.
I'm making my good drinks. What
I
do you
think-
mean
I
you
think-
don't believe me?
I believe you're making alcoholic drinks.
Well, I'll be making those too. Last night, Carl came over for Sunday dinner and he was on his way and I'm like, you know what I'm making? I'm making a last word. I haven't had a last word in ages. And I don't know, in the summer, for whatever reason, well, I know what it
What's
is.
the last word?
It's called, the cocktail is called The Last Word.
No, but I'm saying, what is it?
Well, you won't like it.
Oh, I guess it's got gin. No,
It's got gin in it. In the summer, I drink gin. Gin is my summer drink.
But I
Gin,
will say, we found a gin drink that was really good. It's at Time Out Market, Time Out,
no, I don't know Time Out.
big food hall in the West Loop.
Okay.
Yeah, the Time Out Market, they have a bar on the top by the roof deck. They have a bar that's like, all the places in Time Out are, restaurants from around Chicago.
Right.
But the rooftop bar is like their own. And they have a couple of sangrias there, and they have a white sangria
Hmm.
that's a gin base, and it is really good. And it's made with rose gin. It's called the something rose. It's made with rose gin, and it has like it's got some other liquor in it, and then like I think in a white wine, and it's got like kiwis and strawberries or something in it.
Huh.
And it's delicious. Of course, it doesn't taste like gin. You get none
Well,
of
yeah, I know that you don't like gin, and many people don't like gin because it has that juniper, kind
yes,
of turpentine flavor. But can I tell you, American style, I mean, that's a London style gin that has a strong juniper. American style gins don't have that strong. I mean, it depends. It's saying you don't like gin is like saying you don't like tea. I mean, there are so many different kinds of tea. There's black tea, there's green tea, there's herbal teas. I mean,
I don't think there's the same variance in gin that there is in tea. That's my opinion, but
yeah,
I've had
well, that's
someone-
because you don't know.
I've even had them from the distilleries here. I've even been to few, and had their gin. So that's definitely an American one.
No, I'm saying an American style gin, like
Okay.
Hendrick's gin is an American. It has a
I've
very,
had Hendrix. That's what I first had was Hendrix, but no, it's just you haven't sold me. But if it's covered up,
I'm not trying to say. I'm just letting other people I'm educating other people who have open minds.
mine's an open mouth. But
Well, I have a gin now from Ireland that I bought. Actually, it was a gift from a client, and it has a strong grapefruit flavor. I mean, gin is like all these different botanicals that and a London style gin, yes, will have a very strong juniper kind of turpentine taste.
Well, I've always said, now there is the juniper, but to me, I've said since I was a young person, like in college, having gin, that to me it tasted like biting into a grapefruit rind. So it was that bitterness. I've always said grapefruit.
Oh,
Because and I never really liked grapefruit for that reason, that grapefruit is like the bitter citrus, and the rind, is extremely bitter. To me, was the flavor was biting into a grapefruit rind. So I get the juniper thing, but ironically, it's always been in my mind grapefruit.
interesting. Okay.
But like the bitter part of grapefruit that I don't like.
Okay.
Of course, that's why, my mom used to eat grapefruit every morning, but have to put like sugar on it,
Well, the yellow grapefruit, but the ruby red, you don't have to, do you? I guess it depends.
I think they're both bitter, but it's been a long time since I've had either. Now I do tend to like grapefruit flavored stuff though. But that doesn't have like, that same bitter quality, but I like a Radler, like
Right.
a grapefruit Radler. I've always liked the sodas that have the grapefruit
Mhm.
flavor. you
Mhm.
know, I've always liked those too. And but yeah, but grapefruit itself with that has that bitterness that just is, and I like bitter things. I love greens that are bitter, and like I could drink vinegar out of the jar. Like, you know, I like, you know, love bitter stuff, bitter
No, I
foods and
don't like vinegar.
medicines. And
I don't like vinegar. But interestingly, there's one of my good drinks in here. They talk about the Italian sodas and how, of course, Italian sodas tend to be bitter.
Mhm.
And but when they and one of them, by the way, is Top Note, is made in America, not Italy. And I found it over at Whole Foods, my Whole Foods over here. They carry it. Top Note tonic. But the problem is I haven't really been able to find the Italian sodas to make the cocktails. So um
What's
uh,
the soda it's calling for?
they're actually calling for Chinoto soda, which is it's a bitter orange. Um
So
but I
Whole
haven't.
Foods has a blood orange Italian soda. That's their
No,
own
but
brand.
see, now the see, and they actually suggest the San Pellegrino sodas.
No, I'm talking about Whole Foods has their own brand of Italian sodas, and
Right,
they have a
right.
blood orange one that might be a good fit for
No, I
that.
don't think so. I don't think it's bitter. Well, I don't know. I mean, I actually got the Whole Foods Italian, their Italian lemon soda, and it is pretty good. But what I've ended up doing
Green
is,
one. Stump gets those. He loves that tangerine one. It's
oh
called sweet
yeah,
tangerine. Yeah, it's really good. But
but is it sweet,
that one is the blood orange has a sweetness, but it's also got that. It's, you know,
bitterness?
contrasted with the bitterness too. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I'll try it. But I mean, I found that the San Pellegrino sodas uh, that they make here in this country are too sweet.
Mhm.
I mean, they're sweet for the American, Americans always have to have a, and here's your, I got it tucked in my book here. I haven't made it yet.
You're
The,
squishing it.
what do you mean I'm squishing it?
You're squishing it.
Well, well, isn't
They
it just
had
powder?
those nice leaves or whatever, and now they're
Oh, I didn't know it was anything to squish.
what is now.
Anyway, I'm gonna make that this week. That's a complicated one. That's gonna take a couple of days to make.
Urfa beer
Yeah, the
turkey.
herb BB.
turkey.
Ooh, now I can smell it now that I've been messing
Yeah,
with it. But
it's
yeah,
really it's
so
very
this
got a
is
great
page
fragrance.
one. That's the drink when you're done.
Okay.
That's page one, and then it's at the commitment level. These recipes they have your commitment level. This is at the top.
Oh,
And then
pretty good.
this is here's page two.
Wow.
So it's complicated. So I haven't gotten to it, but I'm gonna make it this week. And
Interesting. We were just talking about the Rockefellers. That's the Rockefeller.
yeah, we were. That's what they call it, the Rockefeller. It's supposed to be a riff on a Manhattan, actually.
Oh.
A non-alcoholic Manhattan, which I love Manhattan. Well, like used to be my drink of choice. I've kind of gotten away from them because I've kind of gotten away from them. But
What kind of bitters do you have at home?
what's that?
What kind of bitters do you have?
I have the regular Angostura bitters for old fashioned, but then I also have Few Brothers. Oh, and that's what I was going to say, talking about the sodas. So this one cocktail, I actually found that a good substitute is Fever Tree makes a lemon tonic, a Fever Tree lemon tonic water, and that's a good substitute for for the bitterness that you want. Anyway,
Okay. Because I was wondering if you could use one of those sodas and just put a couple of drops of bitters in to get.
oh
you know,
no, you do. That's part of the drink. You put in
Okay.
bitters, but
Well,
you
then you can
actually
put
make.
more bitters to balance it out if it's too sweet.
Yeah. Well, bitters aren't actually bitter. They just call them that because they're not sweet. But they're more, I mean, it depends on the bitter, but some bitters are herbal and You know, it depends on what you get, but like old fashioned bitters, Fee Brothers has an old fashioned bitter, but it's very spicy, like cloves and cinnamon, you know, those kind of spices, warm spices. And it's pretty intense actually.
I've had some orange bitters that are pretty bitter though.
Yeah, and I've got the Fee Brothers orange bitters are quite, yeah. They're, I mean, they're not sweet. They're orange bitters, like an orange rind, but the orange bitters that bartenders often use is Reagan's orange bitters, and it has a very floral, they've got something in it that's very floral in their bitters. But which I actually prefer the Fee Brothers. But anyway, you know, you have to get all this stuff. We had some of Carl's friends over the last week, not last night, but the week before, and we sat around the pool and cooked out, and it was really fun. And then when it got dark out, I said, "Why don't you guys all come on up and we'll have drinks. We'll make cocktails." Carl's a bartender, or what had been a bartender. He can make drinks for everybody. So they all came up and hung around, and he made drinks, and they were kind of impressed with my bar. I have a very full bar, very complete bar. They're like, "Well, what have you got that we can make?" I'm like, "What do you want to drink? I've pretty much got everything." It turns out I even had tequila. I didn't even know. I had an unopened bottle of tequila that I didn't even know I had.
Vodka.
We have vodka, yeah. We don't drink it much.
We don't drink it, but we got it.
We don't drink it, but when my sister-in-law comes, we got vodka for her. So anyway, yeah, so Wednesday night is a super blue moon, and the next time we'll have a super blue moon, it will be in 2037. So hopefully the weather will cooperate.
Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars. So this will be our last chance to see a super blue moon for 14 years. But
And it's at what time?
7:35, I think, is when the moon rises. Of course, that's the best time to see it if you can.
Okay, and that's Chicago time?
I think so. I don't know. You might double check that information. I don't want to I don't want to be a source of misinformation, but again, yeah. And the kids are back in school, and hopefully everybody's gonna have a good holiday and take the time off. Are you going anywhere? We're not going anywhere. We're staying home.
No, my sister's staying in town. Brother-in-law leaves today, but or just left. But her girlfriends are coming in for the holiday weekend. So
Oh, nice.
she's from here this week and then entertaining them this weekend.
Where do they come in from?
From Oklahoma, one from Tulsa and one from Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay. So she's having a girls' weekend.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
Friday was her birthday, but they celebrated with his family. But so this is kind of her continuance of her birthday week or whatever.
Wow.
Their first time to come to their condo. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So are you guys, when you guys are staying in town, but you're not entertaining, right?
Correct. Yeah. No.
I think I might have a client coming in but I haven't heard from her, so I don't know what she's doing, but I might end up actually having to work. I ended up working all weekend as it turned out, because Anne was away, and so I covered for her.
Yeah.
And then I had my own buyers out yesterday because so yeah, I don't know. I mean, interest rates what are they today? I haven't heard, but everybody is kind of freaking out about the interest rates, but I don't know.
I haven't heard anything today.
What's that? I haven't heard
But I
anything.
haven't heard anything today.
I know that Paul, our loan guy from Origin Point, was expecting some bad news and wanted to lock a couple of our buyers.
Okay.
So I guess the rates are getting up there.
That's not good stuff.
That is not good stuff. That is not good stuff. All right. Well, everybody have a good holiday, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Have a good week. Bye.